watching the tide roll away, just sitting on a dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for. Look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change.
The music is good.
Just like gives me a good feeling all day.
It's great music.
Don't hear the same song a lot.
Love 97,
Your favorite adult radio station.
it's a
Maritime Matters is brought to you live by Bahamas Maritime Connection.
What is maritime?
Maritime, simply put, relates to navigation or commerce on the high seas.
Some say money makes the world go round. I say ships move the money that make the world move.
Who navigates those large international ships?
How often are international ships required to be surveyed and inspected?
Maritime also protects our seas and borders by way of our local Bahamas Defense
It is
Force.
very sad to say that out of 1,500 plus ships that are registered under the Bahamian flag, only a very small amount of Bahamians are employed.
Maritime Matters.
I welcome you. Welcome one, welcome all to Maritime Matters. I am your host, Captain Glenn Bain. And tonight is our night. There's so much to cover. We're going to try and what we can. But my friend used to say back in Bimini today, Brother Bill used to say, what you can't tote, you'll drag. So we'll see how much of this we can drag in tonight. Our sponsors for the show today are 101 Pharmacy, also Island Care Pharmacy in Freeport. Same owners, same company. 101 Pharmacy, Island Care Pharmacy. For all your medication needs, check out my little cousin Shanty McBride and her lovely team at 101 Pharmacy in Nassau and Island Care Pharmacy in Freeport. Fill your prescription at the store or send your refills via the online 1on1pharmacy.com. That's online, all one word, all lowercase, 1on1pharmacy.com. 3 locations are East Street South, Charles Sanders Highway, and of course, Explorers Way in downtown Freeport. We are secondly sponsored by Bahamas Maritime Connection Limited. They call us BMC, yeah, that's us. We provide a full slate of ISPS security services. So if you're into ISPS, you got us on your side to provide maritime security services as far as ISPS assessments and plans, ISPS audits, all ISPS operations. We are also sponsored by the joint venture of GBI Pilots and Bimini Pilots. And those are the contingent of independent marine pilots that are making themselves available. They're making themselves available to you. Once you got a ship that needs piloting anywhere outside of Nassau Harbor and Freeport Harbor, those are the ones that you call to render assistance. That's GBI pilots, Bimini pilots. Those are our sponsors, people. So we're going to cover a variety of domestic and international maritime related matters. Our discussions will include the Shantytown demolition in Abaco. We talk about the Gaza, talk about moving on to the gully and the farm, and we know who is our Superman. When I was young, we used to play this thing called It's a Bird. No, it's a plane. No, it's Superman. Well, our Superman in this country today, my dear friends, Minister of Works, Mr. Clay Sweeting. Mr. Clay Sweeting is the one responsible, of course, with his cabinet colleagues, because these decisions are cabinet decisions, eh? But they have to be made in cabinet. And they have to be executed by the relevant minister. And in this case, the relevant minister happened to be Superman, Minister of Works, Clay Sweeting. He's taken down Cool Acres. They've taken down, what's that one name? All Saints Way in the back off Carmichael Road there, near Cowpen, that area. And they've now taken down quite a few houses in the Gaza and Abaco. Now, are they completed with those homes in the Gaza? I don't know. Maybe somebody could call in today and let me know what's going on with Gaza. Because as far as I'm concerned, that was, 2 weeks ago they started? Oh, that should be pretty down now, eh? And, of course, after the Gaza, they were supposed to move on to the Gully area, which is a little larger than Gaza. And then the farm, which is even larger than the Gully. All of those are very close to Marsh Harbor, between Marsh Harbor and what's the rich area name up there? Treasure Key. I think the farm is nearer to Treasure Key and the Gully and the Gaza. Both of them are in the vicinity of, we got where all the people, all our colored people live up in name outside of Marsh Harbor, the two towns. I can't remember while we speak, and I don't know why when you get in the studio you don't remember these things, but Dundas Town and the other one just not a Dundas, eh? And the Shanty Town itself is, I think, on the opposite side of the road. You know, they used to have the mud and the pitch and pea prior to the Hurricane Dorian. But now the pigeon pea is gone, the mud is gone, and we got standing in their wake the Gaza, which is, if not almost gone, at least halfway gone. And of course, as we will move on to the Gully and the farm. So we got our second noted topic here tonight is the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Southern Blockade. You know, we talk a lot about the Defense Force's role in dealing with the problem to the south. Our brothers and sisters from the south, Haiti, we talk about Defense Force troops going over to be to form a part of what we know as, or what is expected to be, a peacekeeping force from the United Nations. The United Nations peacekeeping force. We're going to get some of our men and women possibly from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to go down and form up with all the other regional countries. You know, there was talks that police was coming all the way from Kenya, military police, but of course that was stalemated somehow, and we don't know exactly what's going on with that right now. But even without Kenya, we did it in the mid-90s. Without Kenya, we could do it again without Kenya. Because as you know and I know, what is happening in Haiti right now is, well, while I wouldn't say unprecedented, it's really gone to a level of escalation beyond what it used to be in the past. Eh? We know that in recent times, the president of Haiti, yesterday or today or over the weekend, he resigned his position. He left Haiti for some meetings. And I can't say, you know, that's not a good idea, considering what happened in the past with presidents. Whenever you have these unrest and uproars in Haiti, you know, it gets kind of wild. And last time it was a situation where it got kind of wild and you didn't have no order in Haiti after a while. And of course, the peacekeeping troops went in. And out of the thousands of troops that went in and out of Haiti, nobody got killed from no country, because the Haitian people themselves, they realize that this is not what we want. We don't want to be living in chaos like this. but there's no one individual or one body of people in Haiti who can bring it to order because it has gone that far. It's like you get a fire that just run out of control. If you're on a ship and that ship catches fire, your first action should be raise the alarm. You make sure everybody else know, or anybody in the vicinity know, that you see a fire. Because if you go to fight the fire and don't let nobody know and the fire burn you up, or you get trapped in the fire, then ain't nobody still gonna know, and then the whole ship will get burned on, eh? So the first thing you should do if you see a fire on a ship or anywhere, even in a building, is shout fire, fire, fire. Let everybody raise the alarm. Everybody gotta know. And once you do that, you try and put that fire out, because the fire may have just started, maybe small enough for you to just go and smother it, or you can find an extinguisher, extinguish it. However you want to put it out. Most people on ships who are crew are trained to do this, eh? They practice doing this. So in Haiti, that fire has grown out of control, because once you don't put that fire out, and that fire continues, especially if it's fire in an enclosed space like an engine room or a galley, which is a kitchen on the ship, right? You will close up that section of that ship once that fire becomes out of control. In other words, you try to put it out, it got too big for you. You can't put it out no more with just you and your blanket or your extinguisher or whatever. Just start to spread too rapidly. So the next move on a ship would be to you remove yourself from danger, and you get 2 other members of the crew, and you could be one of them, who are designated to put on the firefighting suit. Because now you close up the space, the fire is raining, and it's too big for you to go in there with the naked skin, because they get firefighting suits that can protect their skin from getting burned, right? They got breathing apparatus as part of that suit, and with the breathing apparatus, they wouldn't need to inhale that smoke, because somebody's on the next end of that breathing apparatus hose, keeping it on the open deck to make sure that you down there breathing, you getting uncontaminated air that is not around the smoke and all that, right? And then once you and that second party goes in there and you try to tag the fire with fire hoses, and that fire continues to get bigger, you now say that the fire is out of control. You leave that space, whether it be the engine room or the galley or wherever that space is that you went to tag that fire, and you seal everything off as best you could. And then most of those areas would have what you call a drench system, a system of either carbon dioxide to outweigh the oxygen and cause the fire out. They used to use halon back in the day. They outrule that now. So in most cases, it's CO2, carbon dioxide, because fire needs oxygen to continue burning. So if you overpower the area with carbon dioxide, fire can't use that, and that causes the fire to eventually go out, because it smothered the oxygen, and the fire don't have enough oxygen to continue burning, and you no longer have a fire in that space. Then after a while you could re-enter that space, and of course you have a lot of fire residue and smoke and all the rest of that. So the person who enters that space got to also make sure they're well suited up so that they wouldn't be impacted. So Haiti right now is like that fire out of control. So there's nobody within Haiti, right? Because they're in the engine space. You done close the engine space, it's out of control. You now need somebody to go in there from outside. And when I say somebody, that entity has to be more than just a regular. These are trained personnel, and then they've done this all over the world. This is not the first time the United Nations would have needed peacekeepers or troops, peacekeeping forces to combine and go and deal with countries that got out of control. And that's where we are now with Haiti. And for some Bahamians to feel like it is not fitting for Bahamians who are trained under the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to be a part of a contingent of other countries' military personnel, because it's too dangerous, or that ain't a problem, or whatever the case may be, as far as they thinking, right? I don't think they understand the importance of dealing with a country out of control in your region. Excuse me. Not only the importance, dear listener, the fact that if that continues, it's like a virus. It will eventually spread. And we know that in this region, the Bahamas is always the first country the Haitians flee to. And that's because of our geographical position. And that's also because of our financial status compared to the other countries in the region. Because Jamaica is quite close. Cuba is quite close. They're closer than the Bahamas. As far as when you think in terms of leaving Haiti to get to Nassau. Nassau is like twice the distance of Hungary and Cuba, which is a major port to the east of Cuba. Twice the distance from Kingston, Jamaica, or Portland, one of those ports on the eastern side of Jamaica. So the Haitians prefer to come to Nassau than to be going to those other destinations, because they realize that when they come to Nassau, we have situations where they can get into a shanty town, become climatized, and eventually filter into society and start to work and send money home. And I don't blame my brothers and sisters for doing that, because if I was in their position, I would try to do the same thing. And if we get the position, we know we have Bahamians living in the US and other parts of the world, primarily Florida, that basically smuggle their way in. I got friends and family and the rest of that. They don't have status to be there. And if they were to come home, they can't go back. And that's a situation that they did because they thought they have a better opportunity in the US than they do at home here in the Bahamas. And they couldn't get a legitimate way to go there and stay. In other words, they may have gone to do some training, they may have gone to university, they may have, and because the opportunities for them are so much better than if they're home, they decide they can skip it. They can stay there, they ain't coming back, and until they can find a way to stay there and be able to come home and go back because they get some status, they just stay there. And some of them catch hell eventually and some don't. But people, if you feel like you don't stand a good opportunity in your country, and many Jamaicans can attest to this as well, most Jamaicans, I wouldn't say most Jamaicans, but many Jamaicans, when they go off to school, they don't have in their mind they're not coming back. As a matter of fact, we got a lot of Bahamians now. They know they go into university, they don't make up their mind, I ain't coming back to live in the Bahamas. I can stay in Canada, or I can stay in the US, or I can stay in Britain. They can stay wherever they school and make it from there. Because, they just ain't happy with the way things are here in the job market. There's a lot of politics going on. We got a corrupt system like everywhere else in the world, I suppose. But that's what's going on, And so we need to expect and anticipate that the Haitians are going to be coming to the Bahamas as long as things in Haiti is chaotic. Because right now it's quite chaotic. And so we expect them. And of course, as a result of expecting that, especially in most recent times, when we know that the gangsters and gang leaders are basically running Haiti right now. And very recently, the jail was basically broke open and thousands of people, over 4,000 people got out of the prison. And we're talking some of them hardened criminals, So as a result of that, our government needed to ensure that we are taking measures to try and stop some of those prisoners or all of those prisoners. Any one of those prisoners who want to try to get in our country right now, we have a concern and we want to try and put focus on causing that to be difficult. Because you may not be able to stop it. But I can tell you, in recent times, we've abducted 2 migrant vessels, one off Inagua, I think that was yesterday or today. And then we had one heading for Turks and Caicos, and that was over the weekend. I think the U.S. Coast Guard abducted that one. And so, the reality is that yes, we have to anticipate a mass exodus from Haiti. And we have to be on the lookout because we don't know who is going to be involved in this exodus. But what we do know is that there are a lot of hardened criminals on the street. What we do know is that there's a lot of turmoil and gang war and kidnapping, all kind of things going on in Haiti right now. And we would try as best as we could to keep that. Don't allow that to infiltrate our country. And so, as a result of all that, my good friend Commodore King, or should I say Commodore Dr. Raymond King. Is that how you say it? Commodore Dr. Raymond King, in view of trying to stem that mass exodus getting into the Bahamas, he caused a blockade, as we may refer to it, in the southern Bahamas. So he kind of put a blitz of Defense Force vessels. So we're focusing on the north or the central right now. Everything go down to the south, and on a rotational basis, we're going to keep a vessel between Inagua and Haiti, along that barrier. Keep a vessel there. Same thing with Turks and Caicos, and I guess you could do the same thing for the Ragged Island chain coming up toward Long Island. A lot of them go through the Novitas Channel. A lot of them go through Mirapur Channel. A lot of them. So we could do blockades in those areas so that if they were to get past the Inagua area, we still have a little safety net where we hope to catch them before they get any further up. Because now if they stop in the southeastern Bahamas, we know that they ain't got no shanty towns to get into and do their thing, eh? So that's one of the reasons why the shanty towns needs to come down. And we could take that a step further. We could take it a step further. Because that same shanty town where the fresh or the new Haitian migrant would come and get acclimatized with the Bahamas, get to speak English a little better, get hooked up with a job or two. That shanty town is the stage that sets the migrant Haitians. Because I want you to know that when I was a young toddler, young child growing up, the only thing that the fresh migrants, or even the migrants in general, the Haitians in general would do, is cut your grass, clean the yard, that type of thing. But today, we got Haitians working everywhere. We got Haitians driving jitney. I'm not talking about Haitians that became Bahamians, because we know the transportation area is supposed to be reserved for Bahamian nationals or Bahamian citizens only, eh? I'm talking about Haitians that probably got a work permit in some cases, and they just use it for everything. The work permit may say, because work permit can say you could drive a taxi, or you could drive a jitney, or you could drive a boat in the Bahamas, because those areas based on government policy are reserved for Bahamians only, right? We got Haitian contractors, eh? Back in the day, we had no Haitian plumbers. Let me put it to you this way. I don't know of any. All the plumbers that I knew of were Bahamians. All the electricians were Bahamians. All the carpenters were Bahamians. You never see Haitians with Well, we ain't had no electric saw and thing in them days, I guess. But much Haitians used to be going around doing real carpentry. And I wouldn't even talk about contractors. You had only Bahamian contractors. Now you get a good handful, if not more than one handful, of non-Bahamian contractors that came into the country in shanty towns, and they just learned the trade and emerged, and now they're actually getting contractor licenses, eh? And you know what is so, I guess I could say sad. Because when you get the Haitian that came through, and I have nothing against these Haitians. I have good friends who are Haitians. I even got family who are Haitians, eh? So it ain't Glenn Bain saying, boy, I don't like this. No. I love them. But what I don't like is when our authorities who are there to enforce the laws of the Bahamas and who are there to enforce the policies of the government of the Bahamas sit back and allow these things to develop and mushroom and get out of order. Because nowadays, most of the construction jobs you go on, you see, especially the ones where a Haitian contractor, the Haitian contractors don't even use Bahamians. No, they go and they get their Haitian brothers and sisters and who ain't know how to do it, they teaching them how to do it. So it's hard now for a skilled carpenter, a skilled electrician, skilled and certified plumber to get a job in Nassau. Because the amount of money that they're going to charge, they got the undocumented Haitian who over the past 3 or 4 years learn how to do that tiling or that plumbing or that electrical work. He's charging half the amount. And so we got a situation now, and I'm not only talking about in construction area, but in taxis too. What they work for the Bahamian, no. I shouldn't work for that because I should be paid more than that. You see, the Haitian coming in here doesn't need to be treated like a Bahamian when it comes to salary. And they don't mind that. Because the amount of money that is to them when they get home and the amount of things they could do with that. When you juxtapose that with the Bahamian doing the same type work and getting that kind of salary, the Bahamian wouldn't be able to pay bills. You know, they recently I've heard talks of the Prime Minister saying back in the day, we got minimum wage was very low. And our minimum wage don't measure up to our livable wage. And we know a livable wage in this country is extremely high. So when we got the Haitian migrants coming in, undercutting the job salary-wise, and people like you and me saying, man, these payments want to charge too much money. Hey, you get a Haitian to do this for half the price. And we can hire a Haitian, you know. But we do need to see if John has a license or a work permit for doing tile work or plumbing work or electrical work or carpentry work. All we want to know is how much he could charge us, and he could do the same work at the same level. But why should Bahamians be fighting neck to neck with non-Bahamians to do work in areas that's supposed to be reserved for Bahamians only, and they're not going to get a job because they have to charge more because they got their family, don't have a child in private school. You go to the food store, you can't go to the food store with $50 no more like we used to when we were small and shop for the week for a family of 5. No, you want to go to the food store now, you got to carry a couple $100, right? Your light bill ain't like what it used to be back in the day. Rent ain't what it used to be back in the day. You can't find a 2-bedroom apartment now for less than $1,000 if you want a decent area or whatnot to get an apartment that look like it built right? You paying $1,000 a month. And that's for an apartment. And you and your family live in that. And on top of that, you got to pay your own light bill. Some cases your own water bill. And then you got to buy food. And so how could you work for what the Haitian will charge and you got all these bills? So we are now in a dilemma where, and it's no fault to the Haitian, you know. Even us, the Bahamians, we hiring them. We hiring them. We may not know that what we hiring them to do is an area reserved for Bahamian citizens only. But we know now. Are we going to stop hiring them? The reality is we have the Immigration Department and the Labor Department that has an obligation to some extent to ensure that these workplaces are not violating the government policy that says only Bahamians could be working in certain fields. And to make it worse, to make it even worse, we see that these people, and I'm talking about the authorities now, who's supposed to be enforcing the law, even if they go there and they pick up the Haitian, they may find that, okay, you get fined because you're supposed to be a gardener, because the fellow may have a work permit, and you're doing plumbing, you shouldn't be doing that. And you can't be doing that no more. And you spank him on the wrist, you give him a little fine, and you think he can stop? Not only that, what did you do with the person that hired him? Now you see, this is where we need to go, people. This is where we need to go. We need to ensure that the persons who are hiring these migrants illegally, because they don't ensure that they have the right work permit for the job you're hiring them to do, and you know that they're not Bahamians, in most cases you know that, then you should be penalized. And until we put it in law, because the Immigration Act does specify that to work in certain areas, the employee is required to have a work permit. And it also specifies the employer should not hire somebody without the requisite work permit to work in certain areas, right? Or in any area. Because if you're not a person in Bahamian, if they don't have a work permit, you shouldn't hire them for what you're hiring them to do. But there's nothing in the Immigration Act that says the employer that does this have to face a fine of so and so and jail time and or jail time of so and so, right? And you know, I put it to the authorities. We go to the House of Assembly every single week. What is more important on our agenda than ensuring that the government policy and the government immigration laws are being adhered to by employers? So we put something in there when we go to the House of Assembly that says any employer that hires or employs somebody without the requisite work permit, a non-Bahamian, without the requisite work permit for that specific area, will be faced with 1 day in jail. And in addition to that, fined $100. Now see, the important thing, dear listener, is to make sure they get 1 day in jail. Because if I am an employer, and if I know that if I'm caught hiring some non-Bahamian without the proper documentation, I won't go to jail, not even for 1 day. And if you find out one person went to jail for 1 day who's an employer, you will not hire another one of those undocumented workers, particularly in those areas where the government policy say only Bahamians could work in these areas. Because at the end of the day, those areas, the immigration department cannot even give out work permit, because the immigration department is part of the government, and they're not going to violate their own policy. The immigration department will not give out a work permit for a non-Bahamian to drive a taxi, for a non-Bahamian to be a plumber, for non-Bahamian to work in a store, for non-Bahamian to work at a gas station, for non-Bahamian to work in a food grocery store, for non-Bahamian to work in a store at Iraqi, for non-Bahamian to work in a store on Porter's Key Dock, for non-Bahamian to put up a store on the side of the street. No. They will not get a work permit to do that. So when we see them doing that, we know the law is being violated. We know that the government policy, in addition to the law, is also being violated. So where are our authorities? Where is our immigration? I told you the other day, I saw them early in the morning like a Malakio. We don't want nobody being picked up and placed in no detention center. We don't even want no detention center. The ones that we may be concerned about because they're criminals, we put them in jail. Right? The ones that just violating or here because they don't have no papers or whatever the case may be, you leave them. What you need to do is stop them from being able to be employed. Our focus is in the wrong place. And we saw over the years, you log them up, then you got to tie up defense force officers and prison officers and all that to watch them. You got to find food to feed them. You got to find plane to get them back. Why are you wasting up all this money? That's a waste. Let them stay here. But when they find out that they no longer can find employment, or that nobody will employ them because that person get locked up for a day, you know what happened? We will become like Jamaica. We will become like Cuba. They wouldn't even want to come here. Because the sweetness for them to come here is the fact that they could work and send money home. And they have infiltrated our workforce so deeply. Even on the Family Islands, not just in Nassau. They have infiltrated it so deeply and manifested themselves into those systems that Bahamians are now finding it difficult to get jobs at the rate that they know they should be getting it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to ensure that employers can now be deemed our problem. And not really employers, but the government authorities who are allowing employers to be getting rid of these things, because we don't have it in the law to begin with. So those of a sudden we need to pass that law. And then once that law is passed, immigration officers and labor officers need to start doing stints on these jobs to ensure that it is being enforced. And then start what they say in Monopoly? Go to jail. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Because you ain't getting no option to pay no fine. You gotta spend that one day in Fox Hell prison first. So the rest could know that the immigration department, the labor department is serious about this stuff. And if you hire one of them, you go to jail for one day. And tell them Glenn Bean, say that's what we need to do in this country to fix this immigration problem that is starting, and not just starting, that have been for the past couple of years, affecting Bahamian households to the extent where people who are properly certified to do work can hardly find jobs in this country. You go out Life at Key early in the morning and see the amount of trucks coming out there with people. You know, Bahamians ain't sitting on the back of no truck to go to work, eh? Unless they're there young and they have a chance to buy some. Most of our trades people they ain't getting in the back of no truck. Either they catch a ride with one of them workers in a car, or even in a truck, but not on the back of no truck. You can see the back of the truck have like 10, 15, sometimes 20 workers. And we see our Haitian brothers and sisters along the road at various pickup points waiting for the truck to come for them. I mean, if I could see it, tell me the whole immigration department can't see it. The politicians know what's going on. But we need to stop what my friend Rodney Monk say, pussyfooting around, eh? We need to cut it out. And we need to take this thing and nip it in the bud. And we do it from the perspective of the employer. You send one or two employers to jail. And watch how quickly this thing will shape up. And watch how quickly you don't have to worry about Haitians taking the sea to come to the Bahamas no more. And I have nothing against them. They could come here. But I don't want, after you get here, you become climatized because you can live in the shanty towns. And I want you to know two people. Those shanty towns are big business. I don't want you to think the Haitian who live in a shanty town build that house, you know. You got businessmen, you get contractors, Haitian contractors, who start from one house. And they just tack on another one and tack on another one. And then next thing you know, they got 100 houses in a shanty town. They may have a generator, or they may be tapping, teething current from there, because they know how to do that now. And so these shanty towns are paying rent to the Haitian owner who basically set that up to make himself rich. And I can't blame the man if he's been allowed to do it. So that's another reason why we need to get rid of these shanty towns, because the people who are benefiting from them, they're not Bahamians. And even if they were Bahamians and they're doing wrong, still get rid of them, because Bahamians shouldn't be doing that. Let's keep it clean. Let's stick to the law books. Let's keep it clean, people. Anyway, I think I ran out a little long. The number to reach me, if you want in on this discussion, and I ain't finished yet, we got some other things to talk about. 326-8255. That's 326-8255. We're going to run to our first break, and when we return, we're going to settle down and talk some more about what is going on in this country from a maritime perspective, and again, international and domestic. You are listening to Maritime Matters, people. On this show, we talk maritime. So we move to our first break.
At Bahamas Maritime Connection Limited, we offer first-class maritime security services throughout the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean. As experts in maritime security, we specialize in production of ISPS assessments and plans, verification audits, certified familiarization training, and port security consultancy, just to name a few. Our services also include provision of a security force to maintain all required ISPS facility security compliance. For all your maritime security needs, visit us today in Nassau at our East Street South location or in Freeport in the Kipling Building. Call us at 392-3515 or follow us on all social media platforms. Bahamas Maritime Connection, your leader in maritime security. Let's help you make the connection. At One-on-One Pharmacy, our friendly staff is ready to serve you. Visit us today for all your prescription and over-the-counter needs at our East Street South or Charles Saunders Highway locations. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from 9 to 4 on Sundays. In a rush? Send your refill scripts online at oneononepharmacy.com or ask about our convenient pickup service. One-on-One Pharmacy, providing personal health care with people at heart.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Oh, did I eat up all the food? Did I drink down all the rum sweet? We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made a birthday wish. While my mind asking a question, Lord, I wonder who it will be. You give your first piece of birthday cake too. Oh Lord my God, I pray that it's me. Oh, they done eat all the food and they done drink down the rum sweet. We can scrape me dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made your birthday wish. You know I was like your buddy, closer great God than your best friend. I've been with you through the hurricane. Damn it, I'll be here when your party ends. Oh, they done eat all the food and they done drink down the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made your birthday wish. Each day I told you by home from school, climb the highest tree just to pick mine go for you. Gave you my jacket when you said you was cool. Even took the blame for you one time I got schooled. Oh, they done eat all the food and they done drink down the rum sweet. We can scrape the dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made your birthday wish. You know you promised to love me eternally till the end of time. You said that I would always be your darling, and I said that you would always be mine. Oh, they done eat all the food and they done drink down the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle, you done look on all your gift. We done sing a happy birthday and you done made your birthday wish. I would take my life this minute, Lord, if you should leave and not stay in it. I'll pop my neck from a daily tree, gal, if you should take your love from me. Oh, they done eat all the food and they done drink on the rum sweet. We can scrape it dance all night long to the sounds of the ancient man. Now you done blow your candle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Maritime Matters. And you heard the birthday song. Oh, they done drink all the food and they done drink all the rum. Why am I playing the birthday song in the middle of Maritime Matters? I tell you why I have to play the birthday song in the middle of Maritime Matters. Because today, my dear friends, today happens to be not only that it's a Tuesday and we're doing Maritime Matters, but it happens to be Tuesday the 12th. And of course, next year the 12th wouldn't be on a Tuesday. Last year the 12th wasn't on a Tuesday. But today is the 12th and it's a Tuesday and we're doing Maritime Matters. And it happens to be the birthday of the #1 fan for Maritime Matters. The birthday of my Auntie May up there in Freeport. Auntie May, happy birthday. Oh, they done eat all the food and they drank all the... Auntie May turns 91 years old, people. 91 and going strong. And yes, I spoke to her then. She told me she's having a good time. She told me that all the plans are in place. And, you know, last year we had a big Japan on a 90th birthday. It ain't that big this time, but it's big anyhow because Auntie May is 91 and going strong. And I told her Auntie May got a couple more years to go. So just try and enjoy not only every year, but every single day. And Auntie May, my biggest fan, turns 91 years old. And I say again, good night, Auntie May. So tonight, we got a call on the line.
Hi, Cap.
Hey, thank you very much, Carly. You're on Maritime Matters. Hello.
Yeah, but let me respect Auntie May. Happy birthday to Auntie May.
Hello.
Birthday to Auntie May. Only 16 and heading for 17. And now I want to ask, do you think Haiti would have an election soon for a president?
Yes, I think Haiti will have an elected president. We know that right now the Haitians are in such an unrest and turmoil because, a lot of them feel like, when we get in trouble, you put these people over us who we didn't elect. And we don't want countries to be shoving people down our throat. So they want free and fair election to elect their own leader.
Do you think barbecue is going to be one of the candidates?
Anybody who is a Haitian can be one of the candidates. And you got to remember now, you got this big war going on between Israel and the Philippines. Well, ain't a big war. Israel is mashing up the Philippines right now. Do you know that the leader of the Philippines came out of a rebel group by the name of not Hamas, so the next one name Hezbollah? Hezbollah was a rebel group against Israel, and they put so much pressure on the government of the Philippines that eventually the leader of Hezbollah became the prime minister or president, I'm not sure, whatever they call it, of the Philippines right now. Mind you, he and his government are not the ones responsible for that attack on Israel that spurred all this on. Because they had a big explosion, they kidnapped a lot of people, and Israel responded, right? But the people that did that would have been Hamas, and Hamas is another rebel group, right? So we don't want to get all that mixed up, but because they have a gang leader now running things in Haiti.
The barbecue look like he is ready to sit in the seat.
Yeah, but the people got to put him there. Does the people want him to be the president of Haiti? It's what the people wants.
That's true.
Because the voice of the people is the voice of God, as Lyndon told us when he lost. Right? So it's really what the people want. And if people want barbecue, then barbecue will be the leader. And all other countries should respect what the people of Haiti wants.
That's true. And keep out of their affairs.
Keep out of their affairs. Allow them to vote freely. And once the United Nations peacekeeping force go in there, and after a couple months or a couple years, however long it take, last time it only took like a year, and things kind of return to normal, barbecue wouldn't be having his way no more, right?
Yeah.
He may still be there, he may not, but even if he's there, he will not be having his way no more because things would have been stabilized, and all of the Haitians will now be able to vote for who they want. And if barbecue put himself on the ticket, he got an option like everybody else. He's Haitian.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I would say, like every country in the world, the people, I mean not every country in the world, but if you're a democratic society, the people will choose who they want and whoever that person is. I mean right now a lot of people got a lot of Bahamians have issues with Donald Trump being on the ticket in the US. Because whatever reason, they don't like the way he carry on, they don't like that. No, let the people, if the people decide they want Donald Trump to be their president, then who we to talk, but we have a problem with that.
That's true.
So we need to respect what Bremen, Darlin, Ferguson to say. We need to have justice, law, and order. And every country, we need to respect that justice, law, and order. And if the people elect a particular party or a particular person, then we really should be respecting that.
Yes, yes.
So thank you very much for that good gesture for Auntie May. Auntie May, she's
I'm coming to my cake later, Auntie
May. Indeed. So my dear, I thank you so much. Okay, she's gone. But yeah, we have to look at things for what they are. And I don't know this gentleman barbecue's real name, but I heard the term barbecue is basically running things in Haiti right now, because in the absence of a proper structure, things take its own shape, and we sometimes refer to it as battle of the fittest. or the strongest, right? And so until we can get, and this is the primary reason why I am pushing and hoping that we hurry up get peacekeepers in there, because people are suffering every day. People are being kidnapped. People have been murdered because there's no semblance. And until we have semblance, you got the majority of Haitians living in Haiti right now want that place to have semblance and order, and they want to be able to elect a government, and this is what they want. And any country in the world would want that. And so we got to keep it going, eh? We got to keep it going. So let's go back to our schedule here, our timetable, eh? We got the Red Sea dilemma still going on. And when we say Red Sea dilemma, what are we really talking about? You see, the Red Sea, again, as I said last time, is connected to the Gulf of Aden on one side. And on the next side, it's connected to the Suez Canal, which is a shortcut. But to get to the shortcut, you gotta come through the Gulf of Aden, you come through the Red Sea, then you go through the Suez Canal, and that leads you into the Mediterranean Sea. And it's a shortcut both ways. Because if you don't use that shortcut, and you want to get from the east of Africa to the west of Africa, you'll have to go all the way around South Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, right? And the time it takes for you to do that complete all the way around, to come right back up to the Mediterranean Sea, is anywhere between 12 to 14 days for a regular 18 knot ship, eh? A ship that's doing 18 knots, which is about 20 miles per hour. And most ships do around that kind of speed for all kind of different reasons. To preserve fuel, because the hull speed is like that, because they're heavy, because all kind of reasons. But international shipping, even cruise ships, that's kind of speed they do anywhere between 16 and 24 knots when they doing making a long voyage, right? So it takes them an additional almost 2 weeks if they got to go all the way around. So they loved coming through the Suez Canal, which is man-made, the Suez Canal itself, but the Red Sea wasn't man-made. We always know when we talk about how Moses parted the Red Sea and all the rest. That's the same Red Sea, people. You can't just part it like Moses did, but that's the same Red Sea. Those ships go through there, and there was a channel cut like a big canal from where the Red Sea ended on the side of Egypt all the way up to the Mediterranean Sea on the north side of Egypt. And to use that Suez Canal, you would have to... Is that a call on the line? Oh, we'll come back to the Suez Canal. Calling you on Maritime Matters. Thank you so much for calling.
Hey, Mr. Van Deen. Good afternoon. You have a very lively show on such a bright sunny day.
Oh, thank you so much, man. You know, I didn't plan to do all these talks, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes when it started, I just keep moving, man. Those Haitian brothers and sisters of mine, I really want to look out for them the best way I could. And at the same time, I don't want the situation to become where they take an advantage of our laws in our country and our people.
Hey, but let's get to number one first, then we can get to number two. Number one is like, hey, happy birthday to Anime. Number one.
Indeed, my brother, indeed. Anime is listening to you, man.
Well, Anime, listen, you gotta get a big cake because I live in the rocks. You know what I mean? I don't want a piece to bring in the rocks too.
Well, I want you to know that my next trip up that way, I am going to take you to meet Anime.
All right, you know how that go, Mr. Man.
Thank you very much.
Listen, let me show you something. Among all the confusion and calamity that happens in a country anywhere in this world, do you know that is the time that the people in the black market make all their money?
Well, you know, the whole world is a corrupt place, eh?
Yes, I mean, the whole world is like that. I mean, they do these things to make money. And I mean, to get the people's eyes off the real gold. There's plenty of money being made out of Haiti. Haiti got gold
Haiti got all kind of natural resources that the people right now are probably smuggling out of Haiti. And it's really them who don't understand what's taking place instead of they settle down and watch the people stealing their things.
Yeah, but there's a lot of money being
made. All they want to do is fight with one another. They want this leader, they want a leader, while the people are automatically taking all their natural resources out of Haiti.
Well, I'll tell you what happened back in the day with Iran. Do you know that the history would reflect that when oil was first discovered in Iran, it was the British companies, and they would take the oil, they would buy the oil from Iran. Of course, they set up the oil rigs and ships and all the rest of that. And when they took that oil out of Iran, they resold that oil 900%. Iran got 10% of what they got when they resold that oil. So they got 90% of the money, while Iran got 10%.
Listen.
And then eventually, what happened was the Ayatollah put a stop to it.
Good. That's when they had that's when they had the hostages thing. And but let me show you something between you and me. Right now, yeah, purely drugs that is being smuggled through the Caribbean, and Haiti is one of the places that is coming from, and it's coming through. There's plenty money to be made in drugs, okay? And it's coming through Haiti to go other places, and what they need, what they're happening to do is to keep Haiti unstable so that they can get as much things through as they could at this present time. Do you understand what's going on here?
Well, I'm not sure.
They plenty big players, and guess what? They're trying to make it as Haiti is in turmoil. Haiti is in turmoil. Haiti in turmoil with the people and the poor people that are fighting among themselves, barbecue and all the rest of barbecue and chicken or whatever the rest of them. But if they fighting with each other, they can't let them see what's going on. I mean, America and the rest of other countries are making billions of dollars out of what's going on right now. You can't see that?
Yeah, but I'm not sure it was a move to keep Haiti unstable as much as it was a move to put a leader in place that cooperated with those that put the leader in place. You see, the thing is, the people reject the leader because they didn't elect that leader.
Well, what the deal is, they rejected him because he was getting ready to do something that needed to be done. He was getting ready to have elections.
And that's the reason why
what they did, they kept him out of the country because he went over into Kenya, wherever, they signed an agreement. As long as he stayed ready, cool. But the minute he went out, they know it's the end of a line for one thing and a new beginning for another.
Yeah, but if the people choose their own leader, I think they would be more susceptible to give that leader an opportunity. And of course, if the leader decide to mess up, then they could change him because they have free and fair elections like we do all the time. We've been changing left, right, and center because we wasn't happy.
Well, I'll tell you something, Dan. Between you and me, Haiti could run his own affairs. You know what I mean? We need to send the Haitian who's supposed to be a consultant in the Bahamas, this George fella. They need to send him down there to go try and take care of people. He can't take care of people in the Bahamas. He got to take care of people from his own place. He needs to go to Haiti.
I'm not sure that's the order we want to follow. Somebody who live in the Bahamas going to take care of Haiti. But Haiti got a lot of intelligent people, you know. I want you to know that the Haitians that we see on a routine basis are only a small percentage of the real Haitians. I met some Haitians in the U.S. and I can tell you I met Haitians in certain international meetings. I don't want you to think for a second that these Haitians don't have the capacity to run their own operations. It's just that there's some influencing and some tangling and dangling into their affairs that causes the problems.
Yes, America is number one.
Well,
America has been keeping them down for a long time. America has been controlling Haiti for a long time. Haiti has factories. Listen, Haiti has Haitians in Haiti that are from the Middle East, from up in there right now where Israel is fighting against those Palestinians. I heard you saying Philistine. I heard you saying Filipinos a while ago. It is Filipinos, it's Palestinians. There's Palestinians in Haiti that are Palestinian Haitians that live on the rich side of Haiti that has millions and millions and millions of dollars. The only place where this war is going on is in the poor area, and what they try to do is keep the poor area poor. But Haiti is making billions of dollars as we speak today.
You're right. Yeah, man. So what we got to do is we got to be our brother's keeper, and we gotta try to cooperate with whatever the United Nations is trying to do. And you've seen lately the U.S., Canada, and France have been getting together and raising funds toward the stability of Haiti. So we can say what we want about.
They don't want Haiti to be stabilized right now. No, that's only cloak and daggers.
Brother,
they're making much more money the way it is right now. Everybody got a plan.
But ain't nobody can make no money in Haiti now because you can't even fly there. You not gonna make if Haiti continue to be the way it is, you cannot do business with a country where you can't even land a plane.
Okay, good. That kind of business. But drugs is going through Haiti.
Yeah, but drugs doesn't happen by way of the
you got drugs that the pharmacists and the big companies need to make their stuff with. And I mean to make their pills with the sales of the people. Okay, and all of that is coming through Haiti right now.
Yeah, it's also coming through the Bahamas. It's also coming through the
Bahamas. What's going on in Haiti right now, brother?
It also comes through the Bahamas. It also comes through Jamaica. I don't think it comes through Cuba to any significant extent. But these people, the drug people are the drug people. They can find a way to get the drugs up, whether it be Haiti, whether it be Turks and Caicos, whether it be Bahamas, whether it be Dominican Republic, or some of that going on there too. You can't just put that on Haiti.
Or big country armies.
No, that's a regional
Don't mind because you see them with their big guns and camouflage and all. They some of the wickedest people in this world today.
Yeah, we got wicked people everywhere, man. Not just Haitians. We got wicked people in every country you could call.
Yeah.
So the world is full of wicked people. They're the majority of people in the world, but we can't single Haiti out with these problems because that's a regional thing.
No, but what they're doing right now is they're using Haiti for profit. And what has happened?
But you don't think they're using the Bahamas for profit? They're using every country for profit. They're using all of
in the Bahamas, right? Are taking advantage and putting the burden on our systems because of the greed of these rich countries, my friend. And if we are allies with them, they need to they need to stop their places right now.
No, but
my brother, know that we're watching them, because you are causing these other people from other countries to come here and cause it hard on our systems.
King Otto, listen to what you're saying now. Our authorities needs to apply our law. It's the reason why they passed Jamaica and passed Cuba to come to the Bahamas, because we're the ones who slack.
Yes, but the reason
don't blame other countries for our authorities.
American Kool-Aid. We gotta stop drinking American Kool-Aid.
No, but we can't blame them for what we doing.
Listen.
Let's put the blame down. It belongs on our authorities who may decide to drink the Kool-Aid and get slack. So we need to work on our authorities. We need to make sure we have the appropriate laws in place to deal with these things from an employment perspective so that they wouldn't even, it ain't no more sugar for them to come for.
Okay, good. We see what's happening with America. America gives a couple of boats the other day. He has a couple of police cars the other day. Giving us things to try and pacify us. But we're supposed to be much more intelligent than that. Unfortunately, our leaders, when we start something like in Abaco the other day, what they doing? They started something and they put it to a halt. Now they move to another place. They're down in the now doing this and doing that. They got to take care of one place first and make sure that put a fence around it and stop everything one time. You can't just be jumping all over the place. When you finish one place, then you go to another place. You know what I mean? Stop jumping all over the place, man. Let's get this together. Let's do what we're supposed to do, man. You understand?
Yeah, but King Ada, what you're saying to me is that they no longer continuing what they were doing up north?
Well, what happened, I understand that they put a little hole on it because I was trying to talk to someone today and they didn't want to talk to me. Remember when I called you?
Yeah, but is that legitimate or that's what being said? Because I haven't heard anything in the news about what's going on in the Gaza Shanty town. I know they said they had but 60 houses already demolished. That was about a week and a half ago. You tell me they stopped demolishing homes in the Gaza Strip? See, I don't know, and I don't like to speculate much. We need Kai Care's video, man. We need Brother Kai Mills to tell us exactly what's going on down in Abaco, eh?
Yeah, well, man, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, but we'll hope that the government sticks to the plan, because as far as I'm concerned, our Superman, Minister of Works, Clay Sweeting, told us 2 weeks ago that after the Gaza, they're going to move on to the gully and then the farm. And I holding on to that, and they're looking forward to that. So if you're suggesting that might not be happening, or they moving out of Abaco, I'm not sure that's the case, because I haven't heard anything saying that. Somebody could give you their opinion. It don't have to be absolutely what it's supposed to be. So let's wait until we hear something, or until you can get a credible source who will be willing to repeat it before we go just saying that, because that may not be so, buddy.
Okay, well, I hope it ain't I hope it ain't like that, you know what I mean? I hope it's different.
Well, I thank you so much for your usual timely, important contribution to the discussion. And thank you so much for correcting me. I was saying the Philippines, it's really the Palestinians, as I said. I always get them to the word kind of a mix up like that. So thank you very much for putting me on even keel with that one.
All right,
Keep up, continue to listen to Maritime Matters, continue to make your contribution, and continue to take care of yourself, my friend.
Okay, take it easy.
Roger. Well, thank you so much. Now look, 5 minutes left. That is what we call not good. So let me just continue where I was when I was talking about how the Houthis make the Red Sea disaster. Because, like I was saying, the Red Sea is an area where ships pass between Yemen, the country where what the name? Who they take down the Twin Towers? Bin Laden. Bin Laden used to train most of his Al-Qaeda people, Al-Qaeda, or however you pronounce that word, in Yemen. And Yemen, the actual Red Sea aligns the southwest coast of Yemen. And on the opposite side of Yemen on the Red Sea is, that country called Somalia, where most of the deadly pirates in the world get on your ship and they take your ship and bring it into shore now so they could get ransom for the crew and the ship and the cargo. That's how they carry on nowadays, right? But it has really dwindled down. You haven't heard much from the Somalians capturing ships of late, because what they did on those ships is they would place military trained marksmen. So when the Somalians come in their little skiff, they can pick out the water before they reach, right? Or even if they get on the ship, they can't get far because the marksman who's trained military man ain't playing with them. So we haven't heard much about the Somalians because the entire United Nations decided that we have to put a grip on this, just like they did back in the day when they had the Straits of Malacca, or the Malacca Straits, which used to have a lot of piracy going on. The regional countries, that's Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, they got together and they started chopped helicopters and fast patrol boats, and they kind of cut that out, right? Plus, those countries are doing so much better now. They don't even need to be pirates no more. So we got that dangerous area called the Gulf of Aden that pours into the Red Sea. That, my goodness, time going too fast. That the ships that want to get to utilize the Gulf, not the Gulf of Aden, the little strip of water that connects the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. What do you call it? The Suez Canal, right? Which is controlled by Israel. Not Israel, it's controlled by Egypt. And they got Egyptian pilots who take the ships, are not making money now because must see 1 or 2% of ships has come through there now. As a matter of fact, they're getting ready after the Houthis started to up their game, because a lot of countries joined in that effort to stop the Houthis from attacking ships from land. But the Houthis are not in charge of Yemen. The Houthis are insurgents. They live there, but they're not the government. And nobody could go to certain entities and say he's a Houthi. When you try to attack them, you could be killing up a lot of civilians. So it's hard to get them. And a lot of them are supported by some of the civilians. So it's hard to stop them from launching because they're so close to these ships. They started out just attacking them with drones and that type of thing, and small boats. Now they got drone submarines, and very recently they just launched 2 ballistic missiles. This real war, people. The Houthis turned this into war, and the Americans, the British, what Hitler and people name up there, the Italians, Germans, they all sending, I think even Sweden and stuff, sending patrol boats down there to try and stave off the Houthis from doing what they're doing. But it's impossible, because you just got a country. You don't know when these fellas will set up shop and send a missile out of ship, or send RPG, the rocket propelled grenade, and they actually sank a whole ship, a whole big ship. They sank the other day. So they got this place like Scareville right now, eh? So as our time ran out, I wanted to connect the dots with the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas, the 3 deadly H, which they say is really stemming with the support of Iran. And why is Iran doing what they're doing? And why are these people doing? Because, who's involved in this? Israel. They all don't want to, because Israel facilitates and accommodates the U.S. with all their weaponry and all of they give them a place in that region where they could just set up shop however they wish. And those other countries don't like that. Of course, there's nothing they can do about it, but they don't like it. And so they take these little cheap shots, form these little groups like the Houthis who do these things that really creating havoc for the world right now. Anyway, that kind of brings our show to conclusion. So without being able to finish my agenda, I just want to say thank you for all you dear listeners for tuning in and putting up with me and my ranting on today. I want to encourage the government to continue doing what they're doing as far as demolishing the Shanty town. I want to encourage the government to go into the House of Assembly and put some teeth into the Immigration Act, where the person's hiring the migrants without the proper documentation can spend 1 day in jail. Mandatory. And that will create a big fix for our problems. And with that, I want to thank my sponsors. That would be 101 Pharmacy, Bahamas Maritime Connection, and the Bimini Pilots for continuing to sponsor the show and keep us live on air. Every Tuesday, we're now starting at 5:05, as you may have imagined. And I apologize for the late start, and it wasn't my producer this time, it was me. I didn't realize how much traffic this be around JCN around 5 o'clock. You can't get near this building. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes just towing that line to reach here. So next time I know what I got to do. I got to come 4:30 instead. So I apologize, because I need to be giving you all no excuses for coming late, right? So ladies and gentlemen, again, I say happy birthday to my great Auntie May, 91 and going strong. With that, as we wrap up, as we have wrapped up, I say to you, dear listener, every Tuesday on Love 97, Maritime Matters. This time, we say to you again, Maritime Matters, out.
Sitting on the dock of a bay, wasting time.
Bahamas Maritime